George Washington had an interesting relationship with alcohol. This is your Daily Word of Washington, Episode 2. Today's quote comes from a letter dated December 15th, 1788, to the Comte de Moustier, the French minister to the United States from 1787 to 1789. In their discussion about trade in the West Indies, aka all the islands between Florida and Venezuela, Washington said, "My greatest reason for supposing the trade to be detrimental to us was that rum, the principal article received from thence, is, in my opinion, the bane of morals and the parent of idleness. Then I could wish to see the direct commerce with France encouraged to the greatest degree, and that almost all the foreign spirits which we consumed should consist of the wines and brandies made in that country. The use of those liquors would at least be more innocent to the health and morals of the people, rather than the thousands of hogsheads of poisonous rum which are annually consumed in the United States." This quote comes at an interesting time in Washington's life, and his opinion on rum wasn't always so negative. As a matter of fact, when he ran for office in the House of Burgesses nearly 30 years earlier, he used campaign funds to purchase 28 gallons of rum and 50 gallons of rum punch, in addition to other purchases of beer, wine, and cider. This becomes even more excessive when you realize that this was meant to sway less than 400 voters. Washington at times paid his slaves with rum and believed that it boosted the army's morale and alertness throughout the Revolutionary War. So why the change of heart? Clearly, he didn't lose his love for alcohol as a whole. This change came because the rum trade was mostly controlled and heavily taxed by Britain, and as you might imagine, that left a bad taste in the mouth of the recently liberated Americans. The French were still financially strained due to the support that they had given us during the war. The election that would formally declare Washington as our first president under the Constitution would be held in less than 2 months, and pursuing trade deals with France to import wine and spirits would pacify and support this strained alliance. Ultimately, however, the trends in the United States shifted away from rum and towards whiskey, which was produced on American soil, including the distillery that Washington installed at Mount Vernon. Beyond the national taste, Washington himself always maintained a love of wine, particularly Madeira, a fortified wine from Portugal. He was often seen with a glass in hand after dinner and used Madeira to toast the Declaration of Independence, and a couple days before the signing of the Constitution, he ordered 54 bottles of Madeira, 60 bottles of claret, 8 bottles of whiskey, 8 bottles of cider, 12 bottles of beer, and 7 large bowls of punch. This was for 55 guests in attendance, and the bar tab would be more than $15,000 in today's money. For Washington's full letter to the Comte de Moustier, check out Part 2.